Losing the girl you never dated. That's the worst pain. I know you'll never be mine, but I still close my eyes and imagine how beautiful it would be if we were together. Hey, hey, okay, let's go.
Well, it caught me by surprise when I looked into the eyes of a girl named Grace across the sea where moonlit waters rise. With hair of gold and eyes so blue like skies that never end, she whispered tales of magic winds where stars and dreams ascend. Grace of Nicodranus, your voice is soft as night, a melody of mystery in shadows and in light. The waves may take you far away, but still I hear your song. For in my heart, dear Grace, with you is where I belong.
So let's talk about Grace, my butterfly with a dash of gray wolf. The first time I saw her, it was at this Caribbean party called the Island Vibes. I was introduced through a friend, and the lights were so dim, but even in the shadows I knew she was special. Fast forward a year later, and we're roommates, more like neighbors, but we were sharing laughs, secrets, and late night snacks. I remember those late night runs to Walmart, burrito runs, and how we're always ending up ordering food. Pizza, Wendy's, and Grace had this incredible knack for knowing what she wanted to eat. I mean, it was either mint ice cream or carrot cake and so forth. Like, how many women do you guys know that women know exactly what they want to eat? It's very rare, right? But come on, Grace had it all. And don't even get me started with the nuggets from Pizza Pizza. But with all those beautiful moments, I sometimes found it hard to read her. It's like you're staring at a masterpiece, but you can't quite grasp what it means. Those beautiful gray and blue eyes of hers were both welcoming and intimidating. Each gaze felt like sunshine on a chilly day, warm yet too bright to look at directly. She reminded me of a blend of Sabrina Carpenter and Jennifer Lawrence, with the blonde hair and the captivating blue and gray eye combination. And when she smiled, man, it was like a supernova igniting the whole universe. As I followed her through the hidden streets, enjoying our time together, I had to confront the truth. I was nowhere near where I wanted to be in my life to support myself and this woman. Grace was a beautiful enigma with the emotional intelligence of a seasoned therapist. We both shared a love for psychology, which was our bond. Yet somewhere along the line, I lost her. She moved to the States, and despite my attempts to reconnect, it felt like I was trying to grasp water with my bare hands. In the vast march of my life, where the dance between man and nature unfolds, I found myself lost in the enigma of this girl named Grace. And it's funny how a name can encapsulate a person's essence. Inspired by a show called The Peaky Blinders, where Thomas Shelby fell in love with Grace Burgess, I felt the same inexplicable pull towards her. She did everything with a touch of grace. Whether it was her athletic prowess, or the way she carried herself with this quiet and silent confidence. One of the most special parts of our time together was our tennis matches. We were scattered across this town just looking for the courts, the outside courts, man, playing for hours on end from the moment the sun peeked over the horizon to late at night. Some nights were so dark we have to use our phones as like makeshift lights because the court lights were not working for some reason. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but it happened. But we were so serious about the game, laughing at the absurdity of it all while trying our best to let our eyes adjust to the darkness. And to be honest with you, I'll never forget the ghetto squash we played. Just us in the middle of the night, dead silence, just us and a ball in an empty parking lot, bouncing it off a church wall. And despite her clear superiority on the court, she never declined my request to play. Each session was a reminder of her patience and her encouragement. It was also where I learned to appreciate her strengths, not just as an athlete, but as a person who's always willing to push herself and those around her. There was this one time too when there was a bit of miscommunication that led to two different indoor courts. And mind you, this was during the middle of winter, and we are out here wearing our shorts and our small little t-shirts out here. Our phones were low on battery as well, and given the weather, we couldn't get in touch properly. And I remember feeling so annoyed and frustrated that day, and it bothered me to think I could have messed things up between us. And I also remember that I was feeling so guilty because it was basically my fault, maybe, for not confirming the addresses properly, because they both had similar names at that time. But to be honest with you, she was so annoyed, and that was one of the rare moments I saw her lose her patience with me. But honestly, even in that moment, she handled it with grace. Moreover, speaking about Grace, that's exactly why I chose the name Grace for her. It wasn't just because like one night I was just sitting on the couch and I just happened to watch Love Island, and she just happened to resemble this Love Island contestant named Grace Rosa Jackson. Although she very much well. So like I would compare, like I know I mentioned some celebrities before, but to be honest with you, I would take Grace Rosa Jackson and Rihanna, and if you compile their personalities together, that's what you get. This is Grace, and I think that name kind of just came to my mind, and it represents how she was as a person. It was how she moved through life, how she played tennis, and how she spoke, because I love everything about that. Like, she doesn't mess with any business, she's straight to the point, black and white. It was fantastic, and hence the photos that I showed in the beginning of this video, because all of these abstract photos kind of represent her in a sense of her as a character, at least the version of her that I have in my mind till this day. Obviously, it's been like a couple years now since I last saw her. I know it's been that long, but that's just how I perceive her. And as I reflect on my time with Grace, I noticed something interesting about her demeanor as well. When she was alone with me, she was relaxed, fun, and easy to be around. But when she was with her roommate, for whatever reason, it was like a switch just kind of flipped. Suddenly, she became more stuck up, I guess. Again, this is from my observation, no judgment here. And a little bit more judgmental of others as well. It's strange how people can change based on who they're with. And I guess that's kind of normal, like people bring out different personalities of yourself. But it was a little bit alarming because that wasn't the vibe I like. I don't like judging other people and things. But despite this, the moments we shared were like irreplaceable. I cherish how she loved to bake and try new foods, and always down for an adventure in the kitchen or at a cafe, or even going on a hike together. I remember one of our outings where we would explore new eateries, and her adventurous spirit was just so contagious. I just loved it all. Although sometimes she'd be annoyed at me because I kind of be a little bit too much out there. But again, she would speak her mind sometimes, and we would get along. Like, we were friends. I mean, known each other for like nearly 6 years at this point, and it's just unfortunately it ended. That's where I'm like, if I have to reflect on my 6 years of friendship, I just can't help but feel a pang of regret, Like, I only started liking her towards the end of the university. Like, that's when I finally saw, like, wow, this person is actually very beautiful. And it was then I realized I could have given her the world if I only seen it sooner. She was truly wifey material, a combination of intelligence, athleticism, and kindness. Even now, we still follow each other on social media, but our communication has completely dwindled. I'm pretty sure at this point, our versions of ourselves are completely different. My numerous attempts to rekindle our bond has gone unanswered, leaving me wondering what could have been. And I have to think back on those moments we spent together, the joy, the laughter, and even the awkward silences. They were filled with potential. Maybe, in another universe we could have been something. We could have gotten married and divorced. Who knows? Or maybe it was just a beautiful chapter in the story of my life, one that taught me how to appreciate the fleeting moments. So you might be asking, what's the lesson here? What is the lesson? I don't know, to be honest with you guys. I think when all of us go through these phases of life, and you just realize that maturity at this point is realizing that not everyone is meant to stay in your life. You stop asking people why they don't call or text anymore. You just have to accept the change with a smile. And that's what I have gathered. Perhaps the most painful goodbye is not from someone you dated, but from someone you never had a chance to truly know. And in the end, I asked myself, was I really in love with her? Or was I just yearning for her affection? Maybe in another life, we could have been something more. And there's this powerful quote, that I came across as well. You were showing me how to save myself. I learned to believe in myself. And now I carry that lesson with me. So to you, Grace, or should I say, Grace of Nicotronis, thank you for the memories. You taught me to cherish the moments, embrace the lessons, and even when it hurts, the end. That's all I have to say. This video is a little bit different than my other Note to Crushes because this kind of just triggered a whole flashback of scenes in my head after watching Love Island. And then all these other pop culture ideas just came clashing together all at once. And it's weird, hopefully we could potentially communicate once again as mature adults in the future. Who knows? But that's the story. That's my story. And hopefully y'all like the story as well. And hopefully you guys have come across someone like this before in your lives. So please leave a like and subscribe. And until next time.
I don't think I have the ability to love anymore. Like, I can like a girl, but to get to the feeling of love, my body doesn't allow me to. I don't know why. I'm sorry. I'm weird. I don't know how to love. Sorry. I know how love feels. No, I know how love feels. I know how it feels, bro. I think there's something wrong with me. I feel like there's a malfunction where it needs to be. I think I'm missing a piece. They're not in love.